I get off at 6 tonight. We'll say no, Ella. No thank you, Ella. Get lost, Ella.
You still got that picture I gave you?
Andy, a 10-year-old picture of a man. Well, you wouldn't recognize him either if he came in.
I'd recognize him. He's my father.
Are you going to spend your whole life looking for a man who forgot you? I shouldn't have said that. It's just that I like you, and I can't stand to see you wasting your life on a ghost.
Mr. Ryan! Mr. Ryan! Mr. Ryan! Don't you remember me? Andy Carrigan.
I don't think I...
It's me, Mike Carrigan's son, Andy. I'm so glad to see anybody from home. I could kiss you.
How did you get here?
How? I got on a boat.
I mean, how did you get into the country?
Well, I said I wanted to go to school here, and they gave me a student's visa.
Andy, I'll see you, all right?
Mr. Ron, please, a minute. Have you seen my father lately?
Your father? Is he here?
Mr. Ryan, 10 years ago. You know that.
Excuse me, I forgot.
How's it possible? He's your friend.
How? Anything's possible, that's how.
But Mr. Ryan,
Out! I told you not to come around anymore. Whoever you're looking for ain't here. He never was.
Andy, don't do anything crazy. Papa, let me go.
Stay away from him. I told you, Ella, don't go near him. He's trouble for us.
What did you find out?
The kid goes to school here.
He's a citizen?
He's on a student visa. What are you worried about?
Nothing yet. If he keeps asking questions about Mike Carrigan, I may start to get nervous. If somebody answers them, then I'll worry.
Nobody's gonna talk because they got too much to lose.
My father told me something when I was a kid. They let me visit him just before they hanged him. And he said no one ever gets hurt by a dead man or a dead kid.
Do you get a kick out of doing this?
I like my work.
All that education, and you're doing first aid.
Some days, if I'm lucky, I get to save a life. On a really good day, I get to tape a wise kid's mouth.
I'm quitting school to become a finder of missing persons. The police are too busy for the job.
Andy, you're here on a student's permit. Don't play around with police work or you'll be kicked out of the country.
Well, something happened to him. Everybody I talk to, they're very happy when they hear from the old country. Until I ask them, "Hey, you ever hear from good old Mike Carrigan?" Well, they look at me like I gave them some kind of a shock treatment.
Maybe they just don't know.
When you don't know, you screw up your face and you try to think. They don't do this to you just because you say, "Hello, Mr. Ryan, me father's friend."
All this proves is that you walked into a tough neighborhood and somebody didn't like what you said.
I only asked some questions.
In some parts of town, that's enough to get you a busted hand.
Simon, I'll tell you again, this is not a private agency for locating missing relatives.
He's not missing, he's dead. He was murdered.
You don't know that.
Look, My father wrote every week for 10 years. Then, one day he stopped. And I finally get to this country to look for him. I go to all the places in his letters, where he lived. They don't remember him. Nobody.
It's possible they're telling the truth.
No. You meet me father once, you never forget him.
Andy? We can't just drop everything to go looking for
A lousy immigrant? Sure. They don't give you any medals for finding a dumb Paddy now, do they?
Jack, what if he's right?
Why would anyone kill a penniless refugee and then go to the trouble of removing all evidence of his existence? Who would be that interested?
There are other reasons why a body doesn't turn up in the morgue. Separated from your family for a long time, you come here, start a new life, make new friends.
New wife?
It happens.
My father talked to a man who said he may have some news.
About me father?
He didn't say. He just said to meet him at Warehouse 6 in about an hour. Will you do me a favor? 2 favors. Don't get your hopes up. But if it is good news, come back. Well, even if it's just to say goodbye.
Who's there?
Are you alone? You're Mike Carrigan's boy? I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but he's dead.
No.
I was with him when it happened.
How?
Does it matter? All I know is he was a good man. And he loved you.
Did you, Dad? Do you still? I thought you were dead.
If you don't stop squeezing me, I'll drop right here.
When did you hear I was looking for you?
Since you came down to the waterfront.
That long? Did you know I've been going out of my head? That you've got a wife who's crazy with worry? Why, Dad? Why did you do it?
I couldn't wait for immigration. Couldn't wait for the red tape.
You're here illegally.
You were sick. Your mother was sick. Your sister was crying from hunger in a crib. I needed to work.
Well, why wouldn't they let you in the country?
They found out I spent 6 months on a work farm because I stole a dress for your mother when your sister was born. No food. No place to live. But all of a sudden, that present for her was so important to me.
Well, why didn't you write that in your letters? Didn't you think we'd understand?
Andy, the people who helped me stay here said don't write anymore. So I stopped. They were afraid the police would hear about me.
For me?
They will kill me, Andy.
My mom cried her eyes out. She lit a candle for you every holy day.
I sent money. For her. For your sister. For you to go to school.
I didn't want your money, Dad. Dad, we wanted you.
Wait. Andy. Wait, please. This telephone number will reach me. But only if you're in real trouble. If your mom or your sister have no one else to turn to, only then. If anybody knows you have it, I'm a dead man.
Mr. Ryan! Mr. Ryan, wait, please!
back to you on that. No word on Andy Carrigan yet?
Hasn't shown up at school, and he's not in his room.
Lieutenant, here's the make on the man who was killed on the dock.
Patrick Ryan, illegal alien, entered this country about a year ago.
Jack, Clyde Carrigan came from the same country and the same city as Patrick Ryan.
I'm beginning to think I owe that kid an apology.
We also owe him some protection. Whoever killed Patrick Ryan may have only done half his job.
Let go of me! Take your bloody hands off me! Boy, you police are great. Did you know that? A million criminals walking the streets, and you pull in some kid minding his own business and throw him into jail.
Andy, you're not under arrest. We have some news for you.
News.
Patrick Ryan, the man you met in the restaurant, your father's friend from back home, he's dead. You don't seem very surprised.
He looked a little pale when I saw him.
He was murdered.
Well, when did it happen? While the whole police force was out looking for me?
We think it may have had something to do with your father.
Me father's dead. That's all that matters now. It's all me mother cries about, not how or where.
Yesterday you were worried sick about your father.
Oh, I ran out of tears.
What about a son's duty to avenge his father's death?
It's all kid talk.
Do kids get paid off?
Or do they get frightened when somebody threatens them?
Can I go now?
Can we hold him?
You were supposed to cool it for a while. You didn't have to kill a poor, frightened man like Patrick Ryan. It was an accident. There were 100 on the docks every year. He wouldn't have talked. Now we're sure. What kind of a man are you? Why didn't you ask me what kind of a man I was when I took you into the business? So you could write checks home to your family. That's a bright boy you've got. I like bright kids. I like to see them lead long, happy lives. Mr. Coleman, he's my son. He'll be happier back home. He stirred the water. A lot of things float up. He doesn't know anything. Look, Anonymous, you were worth a lot to me. He blew that. They pick you up. They get me. We'll all be happier when he's back home.
You think he's okay?
No.
Do I hit the kid, too?
I don't like to worry. When I worry, I can't eat.
This is bonus time, Lieutenant. I could have my head handed to me.
You're on parole, Matt. You've been keeping some pretty strange company. We call it consorting. I could slam the door on you for the 3 years you owe us. The bonus is, I don't.
A contract just went out on a guy named Carrigan.
How do you know?
He tried to buy a safe hole to crawl into.
Where?
Someone's hiding out from a contract. He don't mail out change of address cards.
Andy, your father's alive. There's a contract out on him. That's how we found out.
You're crazy. He's been dead for years.
The men who paid the fee don't put out a contract on a dead man.
Then they're crazy, too.
Andy, your father's in trouble. He came into this country illegally. He may have had something to do with Patrick Ryan's death.
My father's one busy dead man.
He's part of an illegal immigration ring. Patrick Ryan was one of his customers. Andy, the word is out. Your father is a marked man. Now, the choice is yours. His friends or us?
There's another choice. He can run.
Are you set up?
Baker's in that panel truck. 2 policewomen in plain clothes are shopping in the store on the corner. Cohen's up the street on a motorbike. Collins and Schaefer are making like 2 winos on the next block. We're set up.
Hello.
It's me.
What is it?
You said call if there was trouble. Meet me at the same place. Good day, officer.
Andy!
We're alone.
We're alone when we're dead. And what is it?
Somebody wants to kill you. You have to get out of this city.
No, son. It's you who must leave.
We'll go together.
Listen to me. You're a bright lad. Didn't you get a scholarship? Don't you understand what I'm saying to you? Look at me. And if you stay here, I will die. And you will die.
What is it? What did you do?
Nothing.
Nothing doesn't get a man killed.
Don't you question me like a policeman. I'm your father.
You stink father.
Look, I'm doing a good thing. I'm trying to help friends get a start in a new country.
You're a slaver, just like in the history books.
Those slave wages they earn are 4 times as much as what they get where they come from. Look, all kinds of people. Your Greeks, your Mexicans, your Italians, your Japanese. You see, there are small companies, Andy, thousands of them, who couldn't afford to stay in business if they had to pay union wages. So we make it possible. We help both sides. Now, what business is that of yours or the police?
It's still illegal. Look, my friend said they'll plead with the DA if you'll just cooperate.
But why should I do that? I'm alive and I'm free.
Are you? Walk down that street with me now. Come on. Out in the open. Father and son. Just like back home.
Please? He doesn't know anything.
He knows me.
I'll tell him to say nothing.
Okay, Mike. You first. Then you won't have to see what comes next.
Run, Andy!
Well, Lamont, been a long time.
Not long enough.
Pick up Gorman. Come on.
Dad. Dad. What did I do to you?
You made me feel good again.
No. I did this.
Tell me about your mother. Is she still as pretty as ever? Does the smile still light up the whole room? Hey, Doc, you get the kid out of here. You shouldn't have to see things like this.
Shut up, Dad, please. I'm I'm no kid. Don't treat me like that.
Kathleen, what kind of a mother are you? Listen to him talk.
You heard him. I'm no kid.
Yeah, I heard it.
I never really found him. You know that? I mean, there was a man. I touched him. He kissed me. But what man? The man who sent money to my mother?
That's not a bad way to remember him.
I don't know. Maybe it was the bloodsucker that leaned on the poor people. Ah, he was no good. That's the truth. Everybody has their troubles, but they don't all end up like him.
I'll tell you what. I'll keep score. We'll see how you handle your sons.